Rest in peace to the year that has shown me nothing but love, lessons, blessings. This is the first time I'm sad that a year is ending. Don't get me wrong, 2025, I'm ready for you. But can we at least give my good sis 2024 a proper burial? Can we say goodbye correctly before we jump to 2025? It is the last day of 2024. I can't believe it. I know we say this every year. It's always a big shock, like we don't know what's coming. But this one is really hitting me. I vividly remember the beginning of this year. I remember my mindset, my feelings. I can still smell the January air, and now it's over. I feel old. Time truly waits for no one. 2024 has been an amazing year. If you have even seen my channel once, you have heard me go on and on and on about all the things that happened in my life this year. I truly could not have prayed for a better year. And trust me, I'm excited for the rest of my life. But I do want to sit and reminisce in 2024 a little bit. I know even when I'm old with grandchildren and wrinkles, I will always look back at this year as a turning point for me. And I think that's important. And I think it's vital to end this year off talking about everything that I've learned and to show my appreciation for the highs and lows these last 12 months have brought. You already know the deal. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't want to do too much yapping. I posted a 40-minute long video yesterday, so I'm going to try to keep this sweet and cute for y'all. So I'm going back in my mind to the first quarter of this year. I had just moved in, coming off a very hard time, but I was very hopeful and ecstatic for what the Lord had just done in my life. During this time, I was shown that through God, of course, I am able to do hard things. When I think back to all that was going on during this time and the peace and the resilience, the perseverance I was blessed with through it, it brings chills to my body. I was going through a lot, but internally I had the peace of the Lord. I'm telling you, I'm not even going to get into all the details of everything that was going on. I've talked about it before, but to say that I went through all that I did in those couple months and I had a smile on my face, no one was able to tell that anything was going on with me. Every room I was in was still a happy, peaceful, joyous one. I can't help but to see you can truly persevere through anything. I did not think I was capable of doing things that hard. I did not think I possessed the willpower and the strength that was in me. That's something that I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life. There is no battle too hard, no mountain too high, no valley too low that I can't cross. There's nothing in my way but me. If you have ever felt like the things that you want out of this life are not accessible to you, please use me as an actual real life example that nothing is too far from your grasp. With prayer and some grit, girl, you got it. And not because you're just oh so strong, but because the God that empowered me through this time was way bigger than any fear I had, any doubt I had. I was a willing vessel and I was used to the greatest extent. And it still shocks me to this day to be able to go through all that I went through in the first couple months of this year and to see where I am now. It has given me full confidence for the rest of my life that everything that I want is accessible to me. And as long as I'm staying consecrated, I will get them. Moving on to second quarter, we're hitting that mid-year mark. The lesson that was showing up heavily was to maintain my good morals. Bad company corrupts good morals. But y'all, sometimes the bad company is your coworkers. Sometimes the bad company is your family. Sometimes the bad company are people that you have to see and interact with every day. So what do you do in those circumstances? See, my solution for the longest time was isolation. I would block out, cut off, go no contact from whoever or whatever I had to. But during this time, I was shown that I have to maintain my good morals in the midst of whatever. And sometimes that means making others uncomfortable, being uncomfortable myself, shutting people down, and sometimes lovingly correcting people. I just now got to the point where if someone asks me my zodiac sign, I will say I don't believe in it and leave it at that. And whatever reaction they have is on them. I used to be so fearful of going against the flow of a conversation just for the sake of keeping things steady. But y'all, I've been through too much to just let who I am be washed aside for the sake of a conversation. Even in the midst of picking on other people, ooh, girl, she smelled a little bad, or oh, did you see her hair? It's not enough to just not say anything or to be like, girl, you so crazy. Shut that down. Girl, you did not have to say that. Leave that girl alone. She did not do anything to you. Is she minding your business? Okay then, you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie and act like when these situations first popped up that I was doing that. I definitely was just letting things slide. But as the time went by and as I realized that's not who I am and I don't want to passively allow people to think that's who I am, I had to stand firm in my morals and my boundaries. We don't let that slide no more. Praise the Lord. Okay. Moving into the third quarter of the year. This is when things got rocky, if you want to say. The first half of the year was full of blessings after blessings, favor after favor, yes after yes, open door after open door. It was blissful, y'all. The last half hasn't been as outwardly favorable, but please understand, I still reaped many benefits for all the things that happened during the last half. The first thing that popped up as a reoccurring theme was the need to have a plan B. My biggest problem was when things did not go perfectly, I immediately got so discouraged that I wasn't able to follow through. So if I say I'm going to do my morning routine and I wake up later than I'm supposed to, whole morning routine done, we got to try again tomorrow. Now I'm upset, now I'm rushing, now everything is just off the table. Instead of picking up where I can and making things do for that day and regrouping tomorrow. It's okay for things to not go the way you want them, but be able to recoup, be able to have a plan B, be able to maneuver. I had to stop letting mistakes, bad days, inconsistency swallow me up into this ball of despair that left me feeling shamed and would spiral into weeks of feeling bad for myself or getting in a rut. And there's just no need. I'm not fully out of this yet, but I have been working on it and I can say I've seen progress. I'm able to bounce back a little better. Don't get me wrong, I do still have my days sometimes. Overall, I'm slowly moving out of the perfectionist mindset and becoming okay with falling and getting back up again. That brings me into my next lesson, which is to simply do. During those times when I would fall out of habit or not live up to the priorities I had set for myself, I would often stay stuck in a state of being stagnant because I didn't know where to start. Because I'm such a planner and a perfectionist, I needed to plan out what I was going to do before I actually did it. I'm sitting in bed at 10 a.m. because I didn't wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm just scrolling because I have a million things to do and I don't know where to start and I don't know if I'm going to get it all done by the time I need to go to work. And instead of just getting up and doing something, I'm just laying there in a ball of pity. And I learned, just get up and do something. Okay, get up and shower. Now you showered. Now when you come into your room, you're going to have to clean it up because you're going to have to get ready. Now that you've cleaned up and you're all clean, okay, do your skincare. Now go head into the kitchen. Get yourself something to eat. Oh, the kitchen's dirty. Why don't you clean it? Oh, it's time to go to work now. Okay, you didn't get to fold your clothes, but you can do that when you get off. Things like that. Just do. Get up and do. I know it sounds like such an easy thing now, but I'm telling you, the battle for me is mostly mental. As soon as you've got me down mentally, being hard on myself, my actions follow suit. Knowing that, I've learned I am the type who needs to just get up, stop thinking, get out of my head, and just do. And I promise y'all, I've turned so many days around by just getting up and doing and not being so stuck on not having the perfect plan. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still a planner. That's still the goal. That's still what I want to achieve, but I'm not going to limit myself to that, and I'm not going to stunt my progress just because of that. So y'all kind of see how my Q3 went. I was in my head a little bit, trying to figure out how to stop getting in ruts, being stagnant. And now we move on to these last 3 months. What lessons am I ending this year off with that I am freshly taking into 2025? I'm leaning into embracing trial and error. I will give you guys a great example. This YouTube channel, for the whole year, I have been trying to figure out what method works best for me to try to maintain consistency and to upload quality content that I enjoy uploading and making. Because I'm already naturally a planner, I'm already writing things down, I'm already setting the days that I want to be uploaded. Now I just have to actually do it. For a while, I was trying out having days where I film and then trying to edit for the rest of the week. So let's say I chose Friday and Saturday to film all the videos that I wanted to get done for that week, and then I would spend the rest of the week trying to edit it. I found that method made it very easy for me to lose my creativity into this. For me, when I'm filming a bunch of videos in a day, it becomes less about expressing myself, getting my ideas out, coming up with cool ways to relay information, and it became about schedule and business. It was not sustainable for me. I would not have learned that unless I was willing to try out a method and see how it worked. Same thing with getting ready for the day. Some days I've tried to put out my clothes the night before, or meal prepping for the month instead of for the week, trying out new things and not being so stuck on the habits that formed from childhood or that I grew up doing. I did not realize how true it is when people say you are a product of your environment. You don't think to do things a different way because you kind of just think that's how it's done. For example, growing up, I ate zucchini one very specific way. Anytime squash was mentioned, I imagined it the way it was made in my household. Forgoing the fact that there's so many ways to make squash. You can make squash boats, you can bake them, you can roast them, you can saute them, you can shred them. They got spaghetti squash, but I didn't naturally think of that. I thought if I'm gonna eat squash, it's gonna be this way it was made when I was growing up. When I kind of realized that fact and broke out of that and realized, wait, I can cook squash however I want to. Same applies to everything else. I can move how I want to. I can trial and test out different recipes, different morning routines, different hairstyles, different toothpaste. Like, I don't have to buy Colgate. I can try Arm & Hammer. Like, I don't know, like, you know, it's such a pivotal mindset shift because it kind of pops you out of this bubble that makes you think that you have to continue to do what you've always done, and you don't. A lot of the habits most of us have are probably things that were instilled in us. And not to say you have to just forget everything that you learned, but I like to test things. I just roasted Brussels sprouts the other day. I've never roasted my Brussels sprouts. I always cooked it, if at all, on the stove. And it's like, y'all, they taste so much better roasted. And it's little things like that that make me realize, try stuff. Try and be okay with failing. Maybe you'll only like squash the way your mama made it, but maybe you might not. And that promptly segues me into my last and my main point. My last and my main lesson I know I'm gonna be learning for years and years to come. Life is what you make it. I'm still sitting in that statement. I'm still letting that marinate and reign true over my life. But life is what you make it. I saw my life going a different way. I would have never in a million years guessed that this would be my reality, and I could not be happier. So then, what does that say about me next year? There are many desires, hopes, and dreams that are stored in my heart that can come true, and I shouldn't discount that. Life is what you make it. Realistically, I've been playing it safe because I am a single girl, independent, who has very, very little to no ties to anything or anyone. Y'all, I could be moving. I could be a nomad. The world is my oyster. I can take day trips to New York if I wanted. I can go to Atlanta to try a new restaurant one day just because. Life is what you make it, and you never know who you're gonna meet, the things you'll learn, the sights you'll see, the desires that will grow in you. Y'all, I'm full of life. Every day I sit with the fact that this world is huge. This world is huge. There are so many people and opportunities and just little tiny moments that are sprinkled all around this world that are there for the taking. And I want to see it. I want to take them. I want to be there. I want to breathe the air. I want to touch the flowers. I want to swing in the air. I want to smell the breeze. Life is what you make it. Especially as a God-fearing woman, what are you saying right now? What are you saying? What are you actually saying? My father made this world, and he's put the desires in me to explore them. Obviously, I'm accountable to him. I don't do any and everything that comes to mind. I flow with the Holy Spirit, but I'm excited to see where he's gonna take me. 2024 was a testament to the places God will take you, and having hope and faith will take you a long way. And with that, my 2024 has come to an end. I'm so glad to have spent the year with y'all. I'm so glad to have documented everything I went through. Woo! I'm so excited for the rest of my life. I'm so grateful for this past year. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. And that's all I can say. So this is the last video of the year. Happy New Year's, you guys. 2025 will be what you make it. It will be what you work towards. It will be what you pray towards. And I hope you're working and I hope you're praying. Thank y'all for everything. And I will see y'all in the new year.
Like, this is